Welcome back to the channel. I'm just a human eating plants. Today it's all about microgreens. So grab a container, something shallow and long, some soil, you need some good non-GMO seeds, and just some good old sunshine. And let's get into it and let's grow microgreens.
I have found a new love for plants since changing my diet and my lifestyle. And one of the things that I wanted to make sure that while eating and shopping and all that I just wanted to get the most nutrient dense, fresh food that I possibly could, and obviously for the cheapest price I could. So you cannot get any cheaper than this or fresher than this by growing your own food. And I actually grow microgreens right on my kitchen table. I also have another room in the house that has south-facing windows that I also grow microgreens in. These are pea shoot microgreens, and they sprout and grow very well. And you can get 2 to 3 cuttings off of one tray. So unlike most microgreens, once you cut them, they're not growing back. They're dead. They're gone. You got to flip your soil over, start again. Pea shoots, you're going to be able to, like I said, harvest off of these 2 to 3 times before it's done and you got to restart. Back here, I have some that I haven't touched. I just let them grow. And they are probably 8 to 9 inches long. Definitely need to be cut. This tray I have cut already, and it is regrowing. And when I cut it all the way down to like here, and so it's regrowing back. This one I've just started. This one has been growing for probably close to a week now. And then this one's empty, and I'm going to show you how to get started, but it couldn't be easier. I have organic pea shoot seeds, and I did order these online. There are many places you can get them from, either online, or if you're fortunate enough to live in a city that has a lot of wholesale markets, more your natural foods, or places like that, you might be able to find them in town. But just go online and search and find the best deal you can. I'm not really trying to endorse one person or one company or anything like that. I think we all just have to find what's best for us. So these are organic speckled peas, and all I'm going to do, you can soak these overnight first if you'd like, just to kind of help them soften up and to sprout. I start my I grow my microgreens in a seed starting soil, a mix, and it's an organic mix. And the reason I do that is because most of the time your seed starting mixes are going to be really fine and not have a lot of big clumps or wood chips and things like that in there. You don't want any soil that has a lot of like fibrous material in it, like this. You don't want this kind of stuff. What I did when I planted this one, I got my tray ready with the seed starting soil, and then got my seeds on there, and then grabbed the wrong bucket and put regular potting mix on here. So I just kind of left it, but as it started poking through, I did kind of have to go through and break up the clumps. And you got, like, there'll be wood chips and stuff in there. So you want to find a really nice powdery soil is what you're looking for. And that's what I've got here. Your seed starting mix, you're also, read the directions on the bag, but you're going to want to dampen it. And so follow the instructions. Make sure you read it if you're starting a seed starting mix. I've already got mine ready to go. So all I do is I take my seeds, and you're going to sow these really, 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 really thick. These are not going to be growing and need room to mature. Oopsie! And root. So you don't want to spread them out. You want them in there thick. And you just want to cover this, all of it. Just cover it. Cover the whole thing with seeds. once I get this covered and all these seeds in here, I will show you. I'll move the camera around so you can see it really well. But like I said, you can soak your seeds overnight, and there's nothing. I mean, it's very helpful. I know these seeds are gonna sprout. I know this company. I've ordered from them before. I don't have any issues or problems with their seeds. They've always been, they germinate, no problem. So I don't really worry about soaking them anymore because they're gonna stay wet and how I do this, and they're gonna grow just fine, obviously. So I'm gonna show you. This is how thick I have the seeds sown in here. Really, really, really thick. We're gonna take our soil, and again, this is just the same seed starting mix, and you're gonna cover it. Cover your seeds. You don't need a lot. Don't have to bury them in there deep. You just want to cover them. Once you get that on there, just kind of spread it around, even it out. And there you go. Once you've got them covered, I just got this spray bottle, and I have a couple of these, but I use this green one. It's just for my plants, and it's green, so I know which one this is. And this, if you have any type of a spray bottle, I spray my microgreens when I'm growing them. I don't use like a watering can or anything like that. I don't want to disturb the seeds, the soil, all of that. So I'm just going to give this a really good spray, get it really wet. Okay, now this is covered when, I mean, completely wet. It's drenched pretty much. And that's going to keep it moist enough for the seeds to start to germinate and then to sprout. So that's why I don't worry about soaking them overnight. By all means, you can. There's nothing wrong with it, and I'm sure it works really, really good. I've just found with this, I don't need to. So after you do that, the next thing you're going to want to do is weigh it. You're going to want to cover it and keep, some kind of weight on it. So all I do is just take another tray of my microgreens and just put it right on top of it until it's ready to be uncovered. And that normally takes about 3 to 4 days. And what I'll do is every morning I'll go in, I'll uncover it, I'll spray it really good. You're going to spray it really good again, then you're going to cover it back up. And I usually check on them again in the evening, do the same thing. If it's still really damp and moist, I don't spray it again, I just wait again until the morning. And eventually you're going to start seeing the little sprouts coming to the surface. And like I said, it's usually about 3 days, 3 to 4 days. It really depends on what you're germinating and what microgreens you're growing. So it's hard for me to say, but on these, generally 3 to 4 days. And then you're going to uncover it, and that's when you want to give it light. And that's when I bring them out and I set them on my table, or I'll keep them back there on the shelf in the other room. These, like I said, this is about a week and a half from the actual starting process. And then these, again, I've already cut on these once. These I haven't cut or done anything with, and I just wanted to show you, you don't need special equipment or supplies or anything like that. I'm growing these in those like aluminum foil toss away trays, like cooking sheets that you can get. These are the lids off those. So you don't have to go out, you don't have to buy any special fancy tray. These are all left over from me buying plants either for my garden, flowers, those sorts of things, and starting seeds myself for my garden. But yeah, you don't need anything special. All I did is there's 2 of them in here. Took this one has holes poked all over in the bottom of it, and this one's the one to catch the water. You're going to give it more support because these are kind of flimsy. But any containers that are long and flat like this that you have extra laying around the house, just use them. There's no sense in letting anything go to waste or not being used. But when you are ready to cut these, you can either take a really good sharp kitchen knife, or I just prefer to use scissors. And I usually just start, I didn't sew these quite as thick in this one, but I'm just going to grab a bunch and just cut. And there are your fresh pea shoots. Now you can chop these up and put them on a salad. You can put these on a sandwich. You can put these in a wrap. You can put these in anything, wherever you put your greens on, put your sprouts on them. And that's it. You're just going to cut. And you're going to leave about, 1.5 to 2 inches on the stem. And these will grow back. They'll just keep growing back. Again, either a sharp kitchen knife. If they were a little thicker, I could use a sharp kitchen knife, but these were not sewn very thick. I really didn't know if they grow well in this container. I thought they would, but you never know. So I didn't sew them very thick. But yeah, that's it. And look, all that. Now that's enough for a couple servings, for me at least. That would probably be enough for about 3 salads to top my salads with. A nice handful of fresh, non-GMO pea shoot sprouts, or microgreens, I guess is the correct term. When you grow them in soil, they're microgreens. When you do them in the jar, they're sprouts. So these are microgreens, pea shoot microgreens. Throw them on your salad, grow some. Great to get your kids involved in the whole process of it. They can see it from start to finish and then turn around and eat it. You don't have to have a yard. You don't have to live in a warm climate. All you need is sunshine, a tray, some good soil, and some organic, non-GMO seeds. You can grow just about anything into microgreens. Carrots, radish, any of your leafy greens, broccoli, radish. If it's going to grow into a plant, it's going to grow into a microgreen first. And once you do get them cut, if you're not going to eat them right away, with the pea shoots, I normally will just wait until I'm actually ready to cut a salad before I actually eat these. That way I don't really have to worry about storing them much. But if you are going to store them, usually what I will do is take a damp paper cloth or paper towel or some type of a cloth like that. You don't want to get it too wet, but just a little bit. And actually, usually I'll just kind of spray it with a spray bottle. I'll put that in the bottom of a dish, and then I'll lay my microgreens on top of it, and then I'll do the same thing, another paper towel, and then put the lid on. Airtight container in the refrigerator is what you want. And now once you cut these, again, they're starting to die. So that's normally why I don't really cut them much until I'm actually ready to eat them. But like I said, in the fridge, you want to eat them in just a few days. I don't know if I've had any last more than like 3 days in my refrigerator. But just smell them. I mean, you can tell they're just like any other green. If they start to get wilty, discolored, slimy, they're no good anymore. But eat them up while they're fresh. Don't let them go bad. I'm going to show you how I store these really quick. This isn't paper towel. This is like an old linen towel. I save these and use them for everything. But you're just going to spray it and get it wet, just damp. Put that down there in the bottom. Put your microgreens right on top. And get you another one Spray it, get it wet, and put that right on top of there. Cover that up, put it in the fridge, you're good to go. They should last you for a couple days. When you're growing your microgreens with sunlight and not artificial like grow lights that are usually, most people will grow them like directly over top, make sure they're all going towards the sun. I have to rotate them every day. At least usually once, sometimes twice. I just keep an eye on them whenever, I mean, they're in the kitchen right here at the kitchen table, so it's hard to miss them. I don't recommend growing microgreens and things like that, or sprouts, in places that you're not going to look or be in. Like, say if you decided, okay, I'm going to grow microgreens and I'm going to go do it in a room I never go in, that I never use, and you're probably going to forget about them. So I just like to have mine right here on the kitchen table, and that's where I get the best sun coming in all day long too. So of course that helps, but just make sure you turn them, and that way they grow up good and straight. If there's anything else, questions you have, or anything I can do to help you grow microgreens or sprouts, please comment below. This is something that I've just really enjoyed doing since I've changed my diet, and I find it extremely fun. So I hope you do too. Go get you a tray, get you some soil, and get you some seeds, and start eating more plants. Until next time.